cyber world. Are you ready? Here's the man, Criss Angel.
Live right here at the MBN studios, and I want to thank all of you for once again joining me for this very special occasion. We have Mateo from Believe, my dear friend, an insanely talented, crazy comedy genius, and I use that term loosely. And we have Luke, an amazing magician, a dear friend that runs the magic department here at magicplace.com. And of course, Brian, who kind of spearheads all of the technology that goes on online via the World Wide Web. And I want to thank all of you for joining, and thank all of you. We got my friend Cheyenne, his sister Addie here. So I'm very happy that you joined us, and your dad. And this is going to be a great time, folks, for you to get whatever's on your mind to me, and hopefully I'll be able to respond in a way that will answer your question and give you some insight to what I think and how I think. So without further ado, let's start this Loyal Saturday, man. We got so much going on. It's so exciting.
It's been incredible, actually. You know, we did the big show last month, and the outreach of support and the questions coming in over the last month's been absolutely incredible. And I know, Brian, we're going to kick this off with you. You've got some questions pouring in.
Yeah, questions pouring in. And because of the success of the first one, we decided to take it the next step by introducing a new show, which we hope you stay tuned for at 1:30. That's Pacific time, called Livewire. Our very special first guest is an amazingly talented man in the world of magic, Lance Burton, also a dear friend. He's going to be joining us for 30 minutes, answering your questions, answering my questions, and I'm going to make them tough, so you know. And then we have our next show, which you guys are hosting, and you're going to be talking about what's coming up next month. And in this show, we are going to talk about our Loyal Magic Place contest, a free trip to Las Vegas, you and your friend, all expenses paid, hotel, plane, shows, food. It's going to be amazing, so you don't want to miss that as well. But right now, let's start off with a question.
Yeah, and we've had people in the chat room since 6 o'clock this morning, specific posting questions. So for those of you out there in the chat room, if you do add your question, we're moderating it right now. So you're going to see it disappear, but hopefully it will be answered. We're kind of taking them one at a time. And as Luke kind of hinted to, we had so many questions come in, video questions, since our show last month, that we're going to try to get to everybody. But if we can't, we do have another show coming on May 19th, so keep them coming. The first question is from Marion. She says, I'm a jewelry collector. I bought the Mindfreak CA logo multi-chain bracelet and crystal necklace. Thank you for such beautiful jewelry. How much input did you have into the making of Criss Angel jewelry, and what ideas have inspired the designs?
Well, I got to give props to my dear friend and an amazing jewelry designer, and that is my friend Idane Kay. She runs an operation in Long Island, where I'm from Long Beach, actually. And we met, and we've known each other for years, and she literally will talk to me, and then she'll take kind of what I'm saying and use it as inspiration to create the collection, and then she'll show it to me. I'll make some tweaks, but she really is amazing, and she has a bunch of Believe jewelry that she designed for me that she now is putting out there. And if you go to ChrissAngel.com, you look at a little banner, Idane Jewelry, click on it, and you can get some more information and see some pictures of the amazing collection she put together.
Great. And I think the next question from the chat room is from Shani. She's from Quebec City, and she says, thank you, Criss, computer technicians, producers. Basically gives a shout out to all the people here.
Merci beaucoup.
The question is, and you know, we had some video questions about this too, Criss, and I actually don't know the answer, but what did you do for the movie Wishmaster 3? That's come up quite a few times.
Absolutely nothing.
Which is why I know nothing about it, right?
Because I have no idea what, people are out there and they just, create these rumors and stuff. But no, I had nothing to do with it. Not that I'm aware of. Unless I have an evil clone out there doing stuff behind my back, I don't know of it.
Okay, well, and it's funny because my wife and I were watching Bridesmaids the other day, and I saw the Criss Angel mention, and I know that that's not something you actually participated in, but there are a lot of movies where
it is actually
where they do mention your name.
A new movie. It's Robert De Niro It's called off the top of my head. It hasn't come out yet, but I think it's called like Red Light or something like that. And they mention me in a movie, and then you see Hangover, and then you see stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of crazy to be immersed in popular culture, but it's a great thing. So I'm very blessed to be able to be involved in those things without even knowing I'm involved.
Great. And then, Luke, I think we have some video questions
We've got a
queued up.
ton of them, so let's kick it off with Jessica. So we've got our first video question. Let's throw it to that right now.
Hi, Chris. My name is Jessica, and I'm a martial artist. I am 17 years old and started training in martial arts ever since I was 9. I saw that you also trained in martial arts. I would like to know when you started and how many styles did you study? Also, since I have my black belt test coming up at the end of October, I was wondering what advice you could give me to help me prepare for it.
Wow, that's hot, huh? A pretty girl that kicks ass.
Wow. Mateo likes that.
Maestro.
I'm scared of this girl.
He wants you to beat him up. Anyway, I was always fascinated with mixed martial arts. I mean, because of Bruce Lee. I mean, Bruce Lee for me, and I think most people that grew up in my generation used to watch his movies, went out in the backyard, made a little makeshift set of nunchucks, and then hit yourself on the head a bunch of times, which I definitely had a bunch of bruises from doing. But I was just fascinated with it. I studied karate, I studied a little kempo, wushu, kung fu, all-American combat. But I didn't really get as immersed as I would have liked to, because I really spent a lot of time doing magic, and that started for me when I was probably about 12, 13 years old, that I got involved with martial arts and just kind of changed styles constantly. There was, I wasn't aware of UFC at the time, but if I didn't go down the path of magic and an entertainer, mixed martial arts, the UFC, Dana White is a friend of mine and has done just a masterful job with that organization. It's an amazing sport and something that I'm fascinated with, something that I'm interested, and something that is really becoming accepted, so much so that I think it is, and if not, will become. But I think it is already bigger than boxing. I mean, it's really that question that I had as a kid. Could Bruce Lee kick, Muhammad Ali's ass, or with a Muhammad? And that really answers the question when you watch mixed martial arts. And you look at somebody like George St. Pierre and how an amazing athlete these people are. They condition themselves like no other, and really it's become so sophisticated, the sport, on so many different levels. It's going to be interesting to see where it goes, and I'm fascinated by it. It engages me, and I always have an interest in playing around with it. I hope that answers your question. But good luck with your black belt test, and hopefully, I'm sure you'll do great. Keep it up.
I think I actually saw you practicing some martial arts on Mateo at the 4th of July party. I definitely saw him go in the pool. I
think I what did I do to you, Mateo?
Oh, you are a ninja. You demonstrate at the programs.
Yeah,
with Amazing Jonathan,
Yeah, or how about when we're doing the show and you're a wise ass to me and you do something like you pinch me or something?
Yeah.
What do you get in return?
Bah.
Nice.
And then I feel bad because I don't know if I hit him too hard, and I needed the little guy to work, the rest of the show.
Yeah.
My little chicklet.
Nice. All right, so let's jump to the next video question. We got another one. This one's from Randy, a.k.a. Sleepy Girl, and we'll throw to that right about now.
Hi, it's Randy, aka Sleepy Girl 1, and I have a quick question regarding the Believe CD. And I was wondering that since a lot of new music has been added since the CD originally came out, if you would ever consider releasing Volume 2 with all the new stuff. I believe you said that you were probably going to continue adding new music as the show goes along, so it would be wonderful to have both versions. So I hope the answer is yes. Thank you for considering my question. Bye-bye.
Randy, you're such a loyal, and I so appreciate it. We had you on last
absolutely. That's right. Last month,
episode of Loyal Saturday. So, it's interesting, the soundtrack. The soundtrack that you were holding in your hand is the original Eric Serra soundtrack. And obviously everybody knows that the show has gone through a complete transformation. Actually, it's a brand new show. It has nothing to do with the old show in any shape, way, or form. And the music is completely different, or for the most part it is. And yes, I absolutely want to get out a soundtrack, but it's more of an issue for Cirque to deal with, whatever legalities there are with regards to the original soundtrack and how that plays into the new one. But hopefully that stuff will be worked out so we can get a soundtrack, the official soundtrack of the Believe show as it currently performs. So we're hoping to do that soon.
Very good.
As well as the program, by the way. I'm working on hopefully getting out a new program as well. So we're really excited about that. And we're going to be doing it in-house here at my facility.
Very cool. Well, speaking of Believe, we know that you do the Dove Act. We have a Twitter question from Marissa Michaels. She was asking, she's 14 years old, and she really wants to do Dove Magic. Do you have any advice for her with Dove Magic?
Marissa, Dove Magic is something that I started actually when I was a kid, and I put together, I guess, my first act, believe it or not, surprisingly at 14. And you're going to have an opportunity to talk to the master at bird manipulation, and that is Lance Burton in Livewire. This guy's bird act was one of my greatest inspirations to put together a bird act, because he did it at a level that no one was doing at the time, and no one is still doing at the time. And there's Sparky right there. So if you want to do comedy, get some rubber doves, and if you want to learn how to do some real bird magic, definitely ask a question to Lance. And my advice would be is, birds are a full-time commitment. It's just not about, hey Lance, what are you doing, Lance?
Is
that Lance?
I didn't. He's eating.
Lance isn't having it.
Come on.
That's funny. Lance isn't having it.
Lance is in the building. Give it up for Lance. Yeah,
boy.
Lance has made a hell of a lot of money from those birds. That's why he takes care of them. But no, doing bird magic is a full-time commitment. You got to take care of those birds, 24/7. You have to be responsible. You got to keep them clean. You got to keep them exercised. You got to, maintain their vitamin intake, their food intake. You got to, if you want them to fly to you or fly to a tree or fly to a person, that takes training. Having them appear takes training. You can't miss or abuse the birds in any way. You got to really handle them with love, and you got to do things with the birds that they naturally gravitate towards, because each has their own personality. And so before you buy a bird, get a book on birds, look online about doves, and really understand what you're getting yourself into before you actually purchase an animal.
Right on. All right.
Well, Criss, I know that we have some guests in the studio today. They went to the show last night, and you invited them to watch.
Yeah.
And you're really close with your loyals. You always have been. I can't even count how many times I've seen you interacting with loyals. So the next video question we have from Tracy in Canada is kind of along those lines. Can we roll the question from Tracy?
Hi, Criss. It's Tracy from Canada, aka CA Loyal. You have had such a positive impact on so many people's lives, including my own. My question for you is, has a loyal ever told you a story about how you have affected their life that has shocked you? Thank you. I love you. I'll see you in June.
Tracy is sending me that from Canada too. The feedback. Thanks so much for. I remember seeing you many times in the audience, and I thank you for your continued loyal support. I've gotten tremendous letters. I've spent a lot of time with different loyals, and some of these stories are really amazing. I mean, they really touch my heart on an emotional level, and it really blows my mind, because to think about magic connecting to people on that emotional level really goes beyond the performance of magic, but really goes to the emotional connection that magic is able to provide, the magic of emotion. And I think because I have that with so many of you all over the world, it's really been the secret, if you will, to my success. Because, to really think that or magic can move people in so many ways to motivate their life, for people to want to succeed and be motivated and inspired to better themselves, is just something that goes beyond what I ever dreamt about. And I'm so blessed and so grateful and thankful to have those moments with people that share, that very vulnerable kind of experience that they've had in their life with me. So I'm very grateful. And yes, I don't want to get anything too specific because it's private, but I've had a lot of experience. I've read a lot of letters, saw a lot of videos that just blow my mind. And I pinch myself. It's really such a beautiful thing and a beautiful connection that we all have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's so many of them out there that have a connection to Criss. It's absolutely incredible. And that's what's great about the internet, is we can actually connect with those people all over the world. So speaking of chatting and stuff, we have some chat questions as well. So I think you've got one of those for us, Brian.
I do, and this one's kind of interesting. Criss, I'm a 14-year-old girl. It's from Angelica Reyes. Criss, I'm a 14-year-old girl magician, and I don't have a lot of money. What do you suggest I do to make my tricks come to life?
Angelica. Well, I mean, you don't have to spend a lot of money to create magic. You should spend your money in knowledge. And what I mean by that is to really, go online. I used to have to go to the card catalog at the library and get a book. Now you can just go online and learn magic for free. We actually have on ChrissAngel.com, MagicPlace.com, opportunities for you to learn how to do some stuff. And it's really, magic is based in principles. So you should really understand principles. You should experiment, get a deck of cards, start off with some cards, some coin magic, some sleight of hand. And that stuff is really the building blocks for everything else. It really will give you an understanding and a way to understand, without spending a lot of money, how magic works, because those principles are not only employed in close-up magic, but a lot of them are employed in illusions. And when your mind starts to think that way, you'll be able to create your own magic and understand all the different principles and methods at play, so that you can incorporate it and create your own stuff without having to go out and buy big illusions and spend all this money and buy illusions that everybody else is doing. So I would say start small, read as much as you can about it, and try to hook up with maybe a local magic shop or magic society, and share, get that knowledge from people that are willing to share it with you.
It's actually a really good video question that goes along with magic tricks or illusions, and this one's from John. I believe he's from England, so let's go to the video clip of John right now.
Hi Criss, John from England. I'm a massive fan, I absolutely love your work, you're amazing. My question is, are there any magic tricks and illusions that you've seen over the years that have freaked your mind? If so, what were they?
John, good question. Thanks for watching from England. I got to tell you, that's one of the things that kind of sucks for me, is that I don't have that wonderment that I once had getting into magic, because I didn't know all the principles, I didn't know all the methods, and I'm sure there's stuff that I still don't know, and I'll constantly learn and evolve. But I don't really see things today, even in close-up magic, that really, kind of fries my mind. I always kind of have a little bit of concept, and sometimes that really annoys Luke.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Right? I mean, some experience.
It's hard to fool you, man. You are one of the hardest people to fool. It's because you live and breathe this stuff. It's your job, it's your life, and you've seen it all. At least it seems to be that way.
And it's funny because that's basically the selection process for Criss Angel Presents, and some of the stuff we have coming out on Magic Place this summer.
The bar is would I do this on Mindfreak?
Exactly.
Would I do this on Mindfreak? If I would do it on Mindfreak, then we're going to sell it at MagicPlace.com, which comes June 1st. And so I'm sure there's. I'm not. Obviously I don't know everything. I'm sure there's stuff out there that would fry my mind. It's just that I haven't seen it yet, and I'm dying to see it. So if you can do something to fry my mind, I want to see it.
Mateo, can you get on that? Can you come up with some magic that will blow Chris's mind?
Of course.
Yeah. What are you working on, man? What are you working on?
I work different things, but always is bullshit. I make appear, And I want to appear a bird and appear a bullshit.
That's great.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know. All is bullshit for me. That's for this. I stay close with you. I want to learn.
Yeah.
Who carries that in their pocket? That's the
What did I say? Keep your enemies as close as possible.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
He's definitely full of shit.
Wow.
So, yeah,
That's awesome. Oh, my
great.
gosh.
So I guess we can go to the chat room. We have
Yeah.
got a ton of people in there. Our chat room is actually full.
Yeah.
But we are still taking questions. So like I said earlier, if you don't see your question appear, just enter it, and we're moderating those. But Chris Angel Fan 22 says, "Hey, hi Chris. What kind of things do you like to do with your family when they come to see you?"
Well, when they come to see me, they basically come to see the show because I have to work. But I was just in New York with my mom literally 2 weeks ago, and spent time with her and my brother and my sister-in-law and my niece. And, you know, we actually went to church for Easter. We spent about 3 hours in church, spent a little time with the congregation there, which was very, very nice. The Greek church in Long Island, New York is beautiful. It's called St. Paul's Greek Orthodox Church. So we went there. I went to visit my Aunt Stella, who taught me my first card trick. We went a little shopping at the mall, walked around. You know, we usually get something to eat. You know, just kind of simple things to do, and you know, not really anything spectacular. You know, once in a while I'll run in, we'll go see a show or something like that on Broadway. But it's just pretty simple. It's just enjoying each other's time, and it really doesn't matter what we do.
Heard that. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because when we're doing Mindfreak, you know, when we were doing that, your family, they were here all the time, and it was good to see them. Now that, you know, you're doing the live show, we don't get to see them as much. So,
Yeah.
and I know that, you know, it takes its effect on you, and that's the one good thing about having Costa, you know,
Yeah,
around.
Costa is here.
Yeah, it's like a piece of home.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool.
Works, you know, runs kind of the whole operation, and it's great to have Costa here. But he and I obviously miss our brother and our mom and you know, everybody. So, Dimitra, if you're watching, I love you. That's my little niece.
Very cool.
And obviously, family is, you know, plays a big role in kind of development when you're a child, and helping plan your careers.
Family love is the most important thing. It's how you measure success. You don't measure success with money. You measure it by love. You measure it by family. You measure it by those relationships. Those are the building blocks for everything.
Well, and that's a good segue into our next question from the fan out in England.
Yeah, let's jump over to our next video question from the UK.
Hey Chris, I'm a big fan in England and I just wanted to know, who was your inspiration when you were growing up? Thank you.
I absolutely love that accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
Well, I don't understand nothing, but I love it.
Now you know how we feel.
It sounds better on her than on Steve. Let's just say that.
Yeah, true.
So one of my inspirations, well, a couple of them growing up were obviously Houdini, a magician that was a great magician from Peru named Ricciardi. He was absolutely fantastic. The man was a true showman. And then people that really weren't in the world of magic, you know, Dali, Fellini, you know, people that, you know, had have done things within their world that really kind of connected to me or connected to the world on that level, because they were doing something that was really different and something innovative. So there's a lot of inspiration, but my greatest inspiration would have to be my dad, because my dad was a man that really showed the power of the mind, body, and spirit when they worked together. You know, how to persevere, you know, big obstacles in front of you when you believe in yourself. And he really instilled those values in myself and my brothers. And I think that's why I have such a thick skin and really was relentless in living my dream as opposed to talking about it. And I would encourage everybody that's watching this, if you have a dream, as I always say, you know, live your dream. You have the power to do that by the decisions you make at this moment.
You know, our next video question, I have to introduce this one because
Please
it's from
do.
Sunny, who
Yes,
we
of
all
course.
love.
Our friend Sunny, yeah.
She actually just invested in an entire Criss Angel wardrobe, and she's basically promoting your brand throughout Germany.
Thank you, Sunny.
So Sunny sent in a question, if we can roll to that video.
Hi Chris, this is Sunny Believe from Twitter. Congrats again on winning Best Magician and Best Magic Show. Loyal Army has voted. We made it, baby. My question would be, when you started doing magic, your family supported you in every kind of way and watched all of your illusions and stuff. I'd like to know which trick or illusion you showed to your family did your daddy like most? Did he have a favorite? Have a nice Saturday and love you. Bye-bye.
Sunny, it's a lot brighter in here when she asks that question.
It absolutely is.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's a
it
sweetheart.
is.
I always see her on Twitter. And Sunny, thank you so much, like so many, for your amazing support and all the swag and stuff. And we really appreciate it. But my dad really never had a chance to see my success to the extent he saw. I think he saw when I was on Ricky Lake. Remember that show, Ricky Lake, back in the day?
God.
I was on Ricky Lake, and I was on the Discovery Channel, the Science of Magic. I think he saw that, but he didn't really see the actual cause and effect of my success, meaning, the things that I was able to afford or how it kind of, transformed my life. So, he didn't see it on this earth, but I'm sure he knows about it now. And but he felt very confident that I was going to be. He used to say, and actually, we have an interview with him that I got, which he says, I have no doubt that Criss is going to be very, very successful. And I guess he saw my work ethic, and I think he saw, that I was relentless, and that I just was willing to sacrifice whatever I had to be committed to what it is or what I wanted in my life at the time. And I think he knew that that was the recipe for success.
And you are definitely one of the most motivated and driven people we've seen. I mean, we work with you and see it in you all the time. I mean, you're literally working on your new the new stream yourself at the house, the new thing that you have at the house. And that goes with everything, whether it's the magic, whether it's all the other, you are one of the most driven people, and it actually motivates us to do a better job too. So yeah, it definitely rubs off on everybody.
And what Luke was referring to, and you haven't seen this, Matteo, yet, but I built a whole kind of tropical forest that has a 66-foot stream with waterfalls, and literally designed it, and was out there in the trenches, moving rock around for months, because I wanted to create a creative space for you guys that would allow us to really create think tanks and work on new projects and new TV specials, and get the best material that I've ever performed in my career or created, to have the best opportunity to be in the best environment to create those things, and also shoot. So you guys will see this amazing area, which we call a Mystica, which in Greek, a Mystica means a secret place. And my mom actually told me to name it that, so I did. But we have it done now. We're going to shoot it. We're going to be having a lot of meetings over there, working on a lot of magicplace.com material, chrisangel.com material, and of course, my future television specials and series, and all sorts of very exciting projects that are in the works right now.
Absolutely.
I'd be curious, Matteo, since you're on Believe with Criss, what's the best illusion in the show that you've seen Criss do?
Well, for me, I like all illusions. But it's the different illusion. I like the bird act because it's so emotional, and I love it, and people love too. I like all. I can't say one because I like all the illusion. All the illusions, I love it. I love it. The enigma. I think is the best illusion, and it's amazing. We finished the show with this because it's incredible. The people can say how you do that, no?
Matteo, I thought you loved the cups and balls.
Yeah, well, it's for that I can say one because cups and balls is a beautiful illusion, but it's more funny illusion.
Yeah.
And the other, it's different because the show have 30 illusions, no? 40 illusions, and everyone is different. The other, and is for it's for this. The show is amazing because.
But what's the name of that illusion, Matteo?
The cocks and balls.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure.
And I gotta say, Matteo, who is really a dear friend of mine, and I always bust his chops and he busts mine. He really is an integral part of Believe. I mean, he really is my comic relief, my cohort, and we work together, and our chemistry is as such that we really play off each other, and it's all improv. Unlike, you know, other magicians that have shows in Vegas that read a teleprompter, we don't do that. We literally improv our show from the beginning to the end because we feel that every audience is different, right?
Exactly.
And you can't have just a form that you follow. You have to be able to be flexible and listen to your audience, and be able to really kind of go with the flow. And so every show that we do of Believe is completely different based on the audience, what we're feeling, what we try to do. I mean, we challenge each other during the show. We do different things and put each other on the spot. We try to keep it fun because we value the fact that we're in a recession. I still believe people don't have that type of, you know, disposable income. When they come to Las Vegas and they choose to see a show, we are honored they choose Believe, and we want to give 110% because we will never have that same audience in our theater again. So we're going to give our best to give the best damn show we're possibly capable of, right?
Yeah, and because we use the audience in a different moment, we always we are open to feel what the audience give us. For we use this energy and work with this energy, no. And for this, always we are no machines. We are no. Well, okay, we do a show. It's like a show. No, we are open, and we always with the eyes is running like that, because we are checking all what happened in the house.
Yep. And when I because you start out the show, and then I come walking around, getting into my place. What do I always say to you? Every night I ask you a question. What do I say to you? When I walk past you, I say,
how is the audience?
Right. I ask them how the audience is so I can adjust. If they're aggressive, if they're drunk, if they're laid back, if they're quiet, if there's a lot of kids, if they're more of a foreign market which doesn't speak as much English. I always ask him because he kind of is my barometer, and then I know how I'm going to come out on stage, what kind of energy I'm going to put out there.
Well, speaking of Believe, we have a great question for Brittany that I think that you're going to have a fun time explaining because there's so much stuff going on. So let's run to the clip of Brittany.
Hi, Chris, Loyal Bugby, or Brittany Bugby here. My question is, when everything's over, Believe, Mindfreak, and everything in 7-8 years, I guess, what do you see yourself doing, and what are your hopes and dreams for the future?
Well, actually, in 6.5 years, technically, my contract is complete. We do have a 5-year option that's mutual, but I don't see myself ever truly retiring because this is not about money for me. If it was about money, I wouldn't work right now. But it's about the passion and the love I have for creating art, connecting to people. And in different mediums, it's a different approach and execution. Television is one, you know, monster. Live is another, and even this is a completely different thing. So for me, it's always about challenging and being diverse and doing different things. So, you know, I don't think I probably won't work as much. You'll be a little more selective because doing 460 shows a year is a lot. But nonetheless, it's I'm just about to add more to my plate with actually live shows, which will be announced in the near future. So, you know, I don't see myself stopping. I just have to get a better balance in life to enjoy the fruits of my labor and also enjoy my work. That separation will make me miss both, so that I can appreciate it. And right now it's convoluted. There's no fine line that separates the two.
Yeah, I don't think any of us could ever see you just stopping and just.
I'm a maniac. I just always
there's no
impossible.
way.
Impossible.
And my show. What do you see yourself in 6.5 years from now? You be on the road with me, or what?
I don't know.
Yeah?
Wherever you are, Chris.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, Chris.
You are. I am not like in the movie, the Star Wars. I am the C-3PO. I go behind you.
I like that.
He looks
I didn't know
more
what the
like
hell he
Chewbacca,
said, but
yeah.
I like the sound effect.
That's funny. It's interesting because our next question from Nick I saw this week that you were auctioning off a magic lesson for charity. I'm not sure what that was about, but I did see something on Twitter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, our next question from Nick is kind
It's
of
for the
interesting.
Kennedy Foundation.
Yeah.
And I'm going to auction off a 1-hour magic lesson for a great cause. And you can go to my Twitter and get the actual link and bid on it. And you can redeem it anytime within a year. And you come out to Vegas, and I'll spend an hour teaching you how to blow your friends' minds or your family.
That's
and it'll
awesome.
be great. And it's all for a great cause.
Great. And our next question from Nick, I think, kind of plays to that. Can we roll Nick's question, Steve?
Hey Chris, my name's Nick. I live in Canton, Ohio. I'm a magician and I'm a big fan of your magic. I have your ultimate kit and all 6 seasons of Mindfreak. And my question for you is, are there any magic courses you would recommend to someone like me who wants to be a professional magician when they grow up?
I love the timing. He said fan, and he...
Fans off the cards. Yeah.
Very clever. I like that. Nick, you look like you're doing some good fans with those cards, and I thanks for your support of the Magic Kit and stuff. Jeff McBride is a fantastic magician and has something called the Mystery School. That might be an interesting experience for you. I would also get involved in some of the local kind of chapters of some of the magic societies, whether that would be the International Brotherhood of Magicians, the Society of American Magicians, to kind of get you going. But magic is a real tough business to do for your livelihood. And probably the only thing more difficult, as I always say, is probably being a politician. So I would always do well in school, stay away from drugs, and stay with positive people that raise you and give you inspiration, as opposed to people that are negative and talk junk about other people. So that's what I would do. And look at in Jeff's school. Jeff has a wonderful school.
I think
we might actually do something down the road too.
Also,
Well, I
I've
think
seen
the
Nick-
Magic Session
I was going to
is,
say,
you
actually,
know-
I've seen Nick on the Magic Session
Oh,
as
Magic
well.
Session
So
is-
he's been hanging out there a lot lately too, asking for advice and some help.
The
as
Magic
well.
Session is
Yeah.
fantastic,
Yeah.
and that's all free.
Yep.
And
All
we
free.
have a lot more going on
Yeah.
with Luke's Magic Session.
Yep.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of the guys watching now. And basically, if you don't know about us, if you are a magician, we basically offer free help, advice. There's articles, there's some product review stuff. We have live jam sessions almost every week. And we're kind of putting a hold on some of the live stuff. It's actually thanks to Criss, because he's been watching us, and he really wants to, the same way that you're elevating these shows, you want to elevate the other shows that we're doing too. So those things are coming back, the lectures and all that. But we're trying to make it look as good as it can be.
And those lectures are free.
Live, free lectures.
Yeah, because there's other
Yeah.
websites out there that are magic-driven websites that charge you to watch a lecture.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this, you know what, completely free. So go to magicplace.com. Go to, what's the URL, the official URL?
TheMagicSession.com.
TheMagicSession.com.
Yep.
If you want to learn more about magic and you don't want to pay for it, and you want to ask experts like Luke, Sean Fields, who is just a brainiac, and others, Mark
Calabrese.
and so many more people that have joined the team and are joining our wonderful team here of magicians. So make sure you check that out.
Well, I'll tell you what, we have a really cute question. This is from Sam, and there's actually a part 2 to this, but let's get to the first question first.
Hi Chris, this is Sam, but you know me as Mystica1316 from Twitter. First off, I really wanted to thank you for doing this, because to me especially, you mean so much, and you've done so much for me personally and helped me through a lot of hard times, so I really wanted to thank you. My question to you is, I remember you mentioning in one of the seasons, I don't remember which one, but you never really answered it, is what is the origin of Are You Ready? So I kind of want to know where that came from.
Good question, Sam, and thanks for submitting your question. And I encourage everybody that's watching this right now and being like, oh, I should have had my question, do it now. As soon as we get done with this, submit your question. We have people that go through them, and we'll definitely look at every single submission that comes in, so don't be left out. Are you ready? Or as it's better known, are you ready?
Nice.
Which I don't very often do anymore. It really started off when I had a band on Long Island in New York. We used to tour around there, and I essentially had a rock magic show. So I would be singing, I'd be doing magic with a live band, and we'd be playing in clubs like, at the time there was a club called Spit, which we brought in about 2,200 people in there. It was crazy those days, 90s. And I would literally create the radio spots, the commercials, if you will, to promote the appearance of myself and the band and this kind of unique concept. And in the ad that I was writing for a radio station at the time, which still exists, it's one of my favorite stations on Long Island, it's called WBAB, it's a rock station. And so I wrote a commercial, and at the end of the commercial, I actually started out, I said, Long Island, are you ready for the first rock, whatever it was. And I didn't say it, I had somebody read it, but I actually wrote it. And it kind of was just like, are you ready? And then, this is going back again in the early 90s. And then I remember, Jonathan Davis of Korn, who's a good friend of mine, who did the beginning of one of his songs, Are You Ready? And it just was something that was part and parcel to kind of my evolution. Started off as an advertisement, and then kind of worked its way into me just trying to say something that kind of connected to people. And I don't even know what made me say that when we were doing the Mindfreak stuff, but it just happened and kind of took off. And now people always come up to me and they're like, "Are you ready?"
Part 2 of this, actually, we didn't get to see, was Criss. She wants to know if you'll be her prom date.
You'll have to talk to Sandra about that. But,
nice.
But,
what about Mateo?
That's very sweet. Yeah.
Mateo, do you have plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna open. I open.
Yeah. She's not 18, Mateo.
Yeah.
She's not 18.
In Mexico, no problem.
I can do it. Bad, Maestro, bad.
Oh, boy.
Our next question is from Najin. We had a question from her last month. She's the hearing impaired girl. So I think we have some type of video of it here. I'll read it off for you. What is the difference between a mind freak and magic? What is your favorite magic kit and trick? And what's the best kit for me?
All right, let's take one at a time.
Okay, so why don't we start with what's the difference between a mind freak and magic?
A mind freak, I came up with that word and coined it and kind of trademarked it because it was a word to me that defined the moment of awe. And originally, I was playing around with the other word, mind something, and obviously I couldn't do it, so I came up with freak, and it was kind of like it freaked your mind. So mind freak is when you see something, it's a mind freak. And it's crazy because I've seen politicians use it, like literally in a story, oh, blah, 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 pull the mind freak. So it's pretty amazing that it kind of took off, but that's the moment. I mean, magic is basically a broader kind of word that defines, it can define a moment, but to me, magic is like, okay, magic, you're going to do magic and it's going to last for a period of time. For me, mind freak is that split second that, oh my God, that's a mind freak.
Something just happened.
Yeah, or somebody could be a mind freak.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, the second part was, what's your favorite magic kit and trick of that
Well,
question?
the ultimate magic kit is the biggest, the baddest magic kit on the planet. There's over 500, what is it? 550?
Oh, yeah, I think it's like,
550 mind freaks that you can master, and it's like $59. I mean, to buy all these tricks would cost you hundreds of dollars. And we really put together an amazing value, great quality tricks, and really things that will give you the opportunity to experience a lot of different categories in the art of magic so that you can understand mentalism, close-up card magic, the cups and balls, illusions with the self-levitation. You can literally levitate anywhere, anytime, at any place. Levitate yourself, and I teach you how to do that. No props. It's really pretty cool stuff.
It truly is the ultimate magic kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, look at that. We actually have. Wow. Look at that. This is
Magic
not a
Kit.
hard plug or anything like that, but we got the Platinum Magic Kit right over here. And you can learn some magic there, Mateo.
That's for you.
And the Ultimate Magic Kit right there. It's a big kit, a lot of great stuff in it. You know, I don't think we ever show the inside of it, but maybe I will right now. Maybe I'm not because there's something in there.
There's the secrets are exposed.
Utility devices in there, and I don't want to show that because it's a secret.
That's right.
But great stuff and stuff that you can master easily. There's things in there for all different levels. So the Ultimate Kit is the way to go, but if you don't want to splurge $60, go with the Platinum. And we have a new $19.99 kit coming out, which is called the Magic Kit. And we also have a Street Magic Kit coming out down the road. We have tons and tons of stuff. We have, probably 30 effects coming out on magicplace.com in the next 12 months. Tons of stuff.
Busy.
And Sean Fields is going to put the response in the chat room for Najin since she's hearing impaired. He's going to type that all out
great.
for us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so speaking of the chat room, I think we have another chat question coming up next, Brian.
Yeah, Alberto, you can grab that guy.
We do. All right.
That's Alberto, everybody. Alberto.
Hey.
Yeah.
Man. Actually, it's funny because I'm looking at Criss and I'm looking at Mateo and I'm seeing Mateo when he dresses up as Criss during the show and I just
bastard.
I think
Little
that
bastard dressing up like me, huh?
The next video question we should run that because that's from a couple girls.
Mini me.
Me. That's from a couple twin sisters. So
okay, let's run the video question then. Yeah, cool.
Hi, I'm Megan, and this is my sister Morgan, and we were wondering what you like to do when you're not working on your show.
Is that for me?
Yep. So, Criss, what do you like to do in your free time?
I love the new area, the Mystica area. I like to chill there and just kind of, I put like a little day bed that you can hang out, go online and just kind of chill. I'm kind of simple because my whole life is so chaotic. I just like to relax. What do you like to do?
You say I have a bed in the Mystica? Can I bring girls there? Or I don't know. I want to know the Mystica.
Is that what you do in your free time, Mateo? I
Yeah,
think that was the question.
I go there.
think the question was, what do you do in your free time? But if you want to talk about, bringing girls to Chris's, that's fine too.
You know what's
Whatever works
amazing
for
is
you.
that every girlfriend that Mateo has is like almost 6 foot. And it's the funniest thing because when he puts his hand around her, his hand is around the ass. Literally. And he walks down the street.
Well, but this is not only the girl. It's a simple microphone is taller than me.
Yes.
That's very true. I guess if you tried to find someone his height, it'd be slim pickings.
But you wouldn't change it, would you? If you could be tall, would you be tall or no?
No.
Why?
No, I don't know.
Because you get away with murder because you're small and everybody thinks you're cute, right?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I can't even discuss some of the stuff that this man does that I've seen him do and get away with. If I or anybody else would have done it, we'd have been in jail or slapped silly. True?
I'm an angel.
There's probably 5 things in the last 24 hours he's done that we can't discuss.
Oh, you have to see what he does in the show. I mean, backstage, he abuses people. I mean, just tell us about one prank that you've done at Believe that made Mariano crazy. Mariano plays Slim. He's the guy, one of the guys in the show. But tell one quick story about something you did that made him nuts.
Because after the shows, we remove the makeup and we put hydratran cream on the face.
Cream to take off the makeup.
Cream, yeah. And I changed this cream it's another cream for when you have a pain and it's a hot, cold.
Like Bengay.
Yeah, and I changed because it's the same white color, and I changed, and he put the cream in the face and start burn the face. And, yeah, he was a little bit mad.
And what happened? He got like crazy. He started throwing things at you.
Yeah, he was.
And then he had to go. Tell him the follow-up story. It's really funny. Then he had like talk to people because he freaked out on you. So you got him in trouble so bad that like you're the one who created the problem, and then he had to go like for weeks.
Yeah, well, it's a long story, but yeah, of course.
Yeah, but he's really the devil, Diablo, El Diablo.
See.
True.
And Slim, by the way, we love Mariano. He just got married. So if you're watching Mariano, congratulations on your marriage, and you're amazingly talented, my friend.
It's funny because I know you talked about the show earlier, but I've seen the show like you, Luke. I can't even tell you how many times I've seen it, and every time it is different.
Oh yeah.
And every time I laugh at something new.
No, it's
that
funny to
Mateo
watch
does.
them. I can see it in Chris sometimes. He'll lose it because something will happen. Either you'll fall or you'll do something you're not, or you'll sneak something in. And Chris he's like, sometimes you just lose it for like 10 seconds. You're laughing and you're caught up in the moment. And I can see that you definitely like to push his buttons.
Oh,
Sometimes.
he
It's quite
does.
funny.
He does.
Yeah,
He'll come out. He'll like the audience won't see it, but he'll have like a stupid mustache on, or he'll like he'll just do things like if.
Oh, the part. Do you know the part?
Oh yeah, he came out because I hurt my eye and my eye was really swollen, and so he came out with an eye patch, just screwing with me. But when you're not expecting it, you're in the moment, you're in a groove, and you're focused on the show, and you're dealing with the people, and then you see him come out and he's like screwing around. It kind of breaks the moment, and sometimes I get that laughter that I can't stop.
It's pretty funny to watch happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was great last week because we were with Tony Chang, right? Great magician, and he was sitting right next to me. Luke was on the other side, but we were at the show. We were watching you guys. I've never seen somebody so into a magic show as Tony. He was laughing. I mean, every piece, the energy was just so good.
And that's what's amazing. A lot of people don't know. Chris writes that stuff.
Yeah.
Chris writes everything that is basically going on in the show, and people don't realize that. And I think it's important to say that. The stuff that's going on in the show that's funny and it's Chris.
Yeah, and
It's great.
Mateo helps out a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I put together the scenarios. But did you like the show?
Oh, he loved it. I mean, he was standing up, he was clapping, he couldn't sit
He was
still.
losing it, yeah.
And he's a magician, So magicians, I've been to quite a few magic shows as well, but a magician like him, he's seen it all, and he was every 2 minutes just clapping, standing up. He said it's the best magic show he's ever seen.
Wow,
it was great.
that's very sweet.
And that's real. I mean, Luke was sitting right next to him.
We've
as
had
well.
a lot of
It was
magicians
great.
have come see the show recently.
A lot.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the same
It's
reaction.
just
every time.
balanced, because it has the energy, it has the the comedic element, as well as magic. So it's just very different, I think, than a traditional.
We got to get Lance over to
show.
see the show late. He hasn't seen it in a while.
Oh, wow.
So we got to get him back there.
Well, maybe you and Mateo can do a little something for him.
Yeah.
In
All
the
right,
studio.
cool.
Let's jump to the next question. We got so many, we don't want to lose anybody here. So, Brian, I think we got something in the chat room we can pull
We
up.
do actually on Twitter from Hannah Daniel.
Okay.
She's asking both Mateo and Chris if you'll ever do a world tour.
We're working on stuff. That's all I can say.
Well, then we'll just go right to the
Enough
next
said.
one.
All
From
right. Good answer. Good
from
answer.
Stacy, she's asking Chris if you've had any previous careers before magic.
I cut lawns. I got allergies. I quit. I worked in my dad's restaurant, washing dishes, throwing meatballs, doing things with my cousin George that we probably shouldn't have done. I guess you had your spirit was there even when I was a kid. I didn't even know you.
Yeah.
And I was doing things that I shouldn't
yeah.
be doing, things that you would do now as a grown man.
Well, we don't know if he's grown, but we have another question from Brandon. He's asking if there's any current magicians that you look up to and admire.
Probably Mateo. He's a fantastic
look up to.
magician. Oh, look up to.
Look
okay.
up to, not down.
Not down to. They're killing you, man.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, really the people that I work with, I look up to because if I didn't admire them and respect them, I wouldn't have them here because, I want people that are the best at what they do and are really knowledgeable and that can elevate the game, if you will. And everybody that I have that works within my organization does just that. So I would have to say the people that are with me are the people that I admire, I respect, and I'm very grateful to be able to work with on a daily basis. People like you, Luke, and like you, Brian, and even you, Maestro, for what you do, man. You're a genius. You're a comedy genius when it comes to what you do. And so I'm very lucky that I can get the best people to work. One of the benefits of having a bit of success, being able to get people that are successful in their own right to kind of join your cause.
Cool.
And it really feels like a family.
Oh, it does.
It definitely
Absolutely,
does, and
yeah.
I'm not just saying that.
Absolutely.
We should probably get to some video questions.
Yeah,
though.
let's
Let's
jump
do it.
back
Let's
to
bang out some. I'll try to
Mariana.
answer them really short so we can boom, boom, boom.
Jump to Mariana.
Hi Chris, I'm Mariana Chavez from Mexico City, and this time I want to ask you, what was the inspiration for you to write this book, and how could you have had the time to write it? Where did you took the ideas from? Because it's a very good book. It has taught me to be the very best person I can be. Thank you for all the support you had give us to all the loyals.
Yeah, that book came when I was doing Mindfreak. I was asked to write a book, and so I sat down and basically put my thoughts together and collaborated in creating that book, which was the LA Times best-selling book, and I think it's in its third printing edition. And the whole concept was to put my life out there, to be completely honest, to use the lessons I've learned to hopefully inspire others that are reading the book, and I think we've accomplished that because it inspired you.
Awesome. Let's jump to our next video question since we're on a roll here. This one's from Venezuela. This one's from Liz.
Hi Chris, how are you? My name is Liz and I'm from Venezuela, and I'm loyal Liz on Twitter. My question is, would you ever consider having your own radio show? If so, what kind? Thank you very much, Chris, for this loyal Saturday, and I hope to meet you in Las Vegas pretty soon. Take care and have a nice day, Chris. Bye.
Hey Liz, Venezuela. How's everybody doing there? Thanks so much for your question. And a radio show. This is kind of like a radio kind of, this is cool. So, it's not something that I'm looking to do just yet, but if something came to me, I entertain every offer.
Nice. What about, should we jump to another video question, Brian? I think we have one from someone named Luda.
Yes.
Want to do that? Yeah, Luda. Cool. So let's go to our next video question from Luda.
Hi Chris, my name is Laura and I'm from Finland. I just wanted to ask you, what would you do if you would do something completely anonymously and no one could ever find out it was you? Thanks you for answering. Bye.
Good question, Chris, about wanting to know what you would do anonymously, because we know that you've dressed up in character before. So what would you do if you could be anonymous?
And no one would ever find out it was you.
Well, I do it now. I go see other magicians. I see other magic shows in town, and I don't look like me, so I can honestly get a perspective, because I don't want people, stacking the house because I'm there or putting on a show. I just want to see what they really do. So I like doing that, and just like simple things like going shopping and doing different things.
Normal stuff. Trying to be normal.
As soon as I speak, it gives it away.
Yep.
So I just shut up, which is hard for me to do, by the way.
The next question is interesting, especially since we have our studio guests from Nancy. Can we roll to that video question?
Sure.
Hi Chris, it's Nancy, and I have two questions for you. Do you enjoy working with children, and are they a harder target audience to please? Thank you.
Yeah, I love Nancy. I love working with children. Because you never know what you're gonna get, and that keeps me on my toes. And in Believe, we bring up a kid that's like probably 15 or 16 years old, so he's more like a teenager, and that's a lot of fun. But it definitely keeps you on your toes, because you never know like what they're gonna say. And I've heard crazy stories from Lance Burton, from Nathan Burton. By the way, they're not related. About crazy things that have happened. Like Nathan was telling me about a time where he had a kid up on stage, and the kid was like 4 years old, and Nathan asked him a question, and the kid just said the F word. Like just said the F word. And then another time he was saying like, what do you like to do when you're in Las Vegas? And he's like, get the cards with the girls. like what? So like just crazy things happen when you talk to kids, and they'll tell you the truth. They're brutally honest.
Absolutely.
Like Mateo.
Yeah. So it looks like we have 4 more video questions. We should probably.
We're gonna do one for him in Latin America.
Yeah, we'd asked for some Spanish questions. Let me go through the chat room.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Good. Let's do a video though.
All right. Let's jump to Chrissy right now.
Hey Chris. Hi. This is Chrissy. Hey, I was wondering, who dictates your crazy hectic schedule? Is it your unyielding drive and creativity and passion, or is it more of a contractual obligation thing? I just really like to know, how do you do it? It exhausts me just hearing about your schedule. You're awesome. Love you. Bye.
I don't know where you are, but it's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Mystica, maybe. She was the last girl. I was there with. Yeah,
no, you nut job, El Loco. My schedule is dictated ultimately by myself. I'm the one who brings on all these different projects or wants to do different things or creates different things. Tommy, who's my personal assistant, who's a dear friend of mine, does an amazing job keeping my schedule. He actually does my schedule. I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. He puts that together for me. And my management, Gail and Dave Barham, who, God, Dave is just the most amazing manager that anybody could ever have. I'm so blessed to have him. And now Gail working with me on a day-to-day basis. You know, so it's a combination of people, but ultimately I'm the one, if I didn't want to do all this, I would just say no more. But I do have some contractual obligations that I have to meet, and the other stuff I do just because the journey is one, challenge, but staying on top is a greater challenge. And to do that, you got to be relentless and you got to work harder than you've ever worked in your life. And that's what I'm all about.
So, Brian, did you grab the question? If not, we have another video.
We do a couple more video questions.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
going to our Spanish
This one
fan
comes
page.
from our friend from Australia. And we'll now jump over to Sabrina.
Hi from Australia, Chris. My name's Sabrina, and I absolutely have my heart set on being a magician, but my parents don't support me and think that I won't make it to the big time, and lately I've been thinking that maybe I won't be able to achieve my dream. Do you have any advice that could help me? I know it's never give up, but it's kind of hard when your family doesn't support your choice.
Well, I've had that same thing happen to me. My family wanted me to go to college. My mom and dad insisted that I go to college, and I told them if I wasn't a millionaire by the time I was 18, then I would stop. But I didn't stop, and it took a lot longer than that. It took 18 years to become an overnight success. But I would say this: you don't have to jump and say, "I'm going to do magic full time. I'm going to do it as a living." I think what you need to do is to do it for fun right now. Do it as a hobby. Focus in on the things that are really important, like school right now, making sure you get great grades, and also introduce yourself to other sports or things that you have interest in. But do magic. Magic is a wonderful art form that so many people do that are not doing it professionally. There's doctors and lawyers and brain surgeons that literally do magic for kicks and just because they enjoy it as a hobby. So make magic a hobby right now and see how that goes. And then down the road, when you get a little bit older, see what happens. But take it one day at a time. Respect your parents and do magic and have fun with it. But don't worry about it. Just do good in school. That's what you need to concentrate on as far as your future. Do good.
Speaking of the magic stuff too, Chris, we teased a little bit earlier. I think we should give them a quick peek at the contest. We have that dialed up. You think we should?
I was waiting to. I was keeping people here.
Yeah.
But you know what? We can do the contest right now. And everybody that's watching this is a free contest. You might want to get a shot of me there instead of my hand. Lukey, there you go. This is a free contest for you to be able to come out to Las Vegas and experience the great magic that's here. Check it out. Roll the clip.
The grand prize winner of the MagicPlace.com contest will receive the following absolutely free: 2 round-trip tickets for you and a guest to Las Vegas, accommodations at Luxor Hotel and Casino, 3 VIP magic show experiences, helicopter ride, dinner, limos, museum, the vault, and much, much more. Let's break it all down.
No, we're not going to break it down just yet. That's a teaser, okay? That's intended to tease you about something that's coming June 1st at MagicPlace.com. For all my loyals, all the magicians that are out there, if you want the opportunity to come to Las Vegas and see some amazing magic shows, meet me and these incredible magicians, you'll have that opportunity. But you got to go to MagicPlace.com June 1st. And our next loyal Saturday, we will have more about that contest from Robin Leach.
Cool. All right. Yeah, it's exciting, Brian. I mean, we've been patiently and very quietly working on that.
This is the biggest magic
This is the best contest ever.
Ever. On any website, I said I want the
seen
best,
anything like
the
this.
biggest, the most, and you guys put together something amazing. So if you have one of your girlfriends in Spain or Mexico, you have her win the contest, so you get to see her.
Yeah. No, and tell at the end, all the helicopter, the dinner, the shows. At the end, you finish with Maestro at your forest, Mystica.
No, yeah, that would be a nightmare. That would be a dream. That would be a nightmare.
That'll make it much easier to win because there'll be less participants. That's for sure.
That will be Maestro calling me up, being, "Can I get bail?" And I'll be like, "Who are you?"
There we go. We actually have a Spanish question for Mateo. If
Here you go. Don't translate it for Rio.
I'm ready.
Okay, and it's not a video question. It's from the chat room. ¿Cómo pensaste de trabajar con Criss? ¿Cómo juntaste con él?
I need answer in Spanish, no? Of course.
I would answer in Spanish and then translate to English.
Okay. Well, la cosa fue que fue Cirque du Soleil quien me vio trabajar en Europa y me contrató para trabajar con Criss. Yo no conocía a Criss y fue maravilloso, ¿no? El poder trabajar con el circo y trabajar con Criss, ¿no? Esa fue lo directo, ¿no? De trabajar con Criss. Fue por Cirque du Soleil.
So Cirque du Soleil saw your work in Europe and they contracted you to come and work with Criss.
Exactly.
Awesome. Good. I think we have a couple more video questions.
We do have two more, and then we're
going to
have to hit over to Livewire, yeah, with Lance Burton. Yeah.
Can we roll the last questions?
I'm Sarah, and I'm from California, and I was just wondering, Criss, if you ever imagined you'd have the life that you have now when you were younger.
No, the honest truth is no. I never dreamt it would be like this specifically. I always thought I'd be successful. I always thought, but not to this degree, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And looks like we got one more last question. This one comes in from Tyler. Let's jump to that.
Hey, Criss. My name's Tyler, and my question for you is, what keeps you inspired to take what you do to the next level and do future projects?
You want to answer that for me, or you want me to answer that?
Well, I mean,
I'll answer it, but you can, if you. I think I keep myself inspired. I keep myself inspired because I never look at stuff that I've done yesterday. I always think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. I never get complacent. I don't read my own press. I don't believe the hype. You know, I just am hungry to be the best artist, the best human being that I'm capable of, and that's all that matters to me, is to be the best, because that's all I'm responsible for, is myself, my own being. And if everybody in the world just was responsible for themselves and being positive and wanting to be the best, I think we'd be in a different place than sometimes where we're at right now, you know, with all the negativity that's out there in the world. People, you know, haters and all that bottom feeding is just something that doesn't interest me. I want to be positive. I want to surround myself with positive people. Positivity breeds great things. Negativity breeds nothing. My dad always said, and I said this last time, you hang out with shit, you start to smell like it. You hang out with smart people, you become smarter. You hang out with rich people, you become richer. And it really is true. You're a product of your environment.
Well, speaking of great people, we've got Lance Burton, who's been waiting patiently, so I think we're going to wrap up this Loyal Saturday chat.
Lance Burton is going to be coming up with Livewire, my brand new talk show that will connect you to Lance and every guest that I have. And we have some big guests coming up, like Lance, but many others as well. And we also have some information about some new stuff that just happened on ChrissAngel.com. If you're interested in magic and want to learn magic, make sure you check that out in the Learn Magic section. We got some wonderful Kristen and Mark did some beautiful demonstrations that we shot here at the studio. So make sure you check that out, the Learn Magic button, and a lot more to come. So stay tuned. Don't move, okay? Stay right there. See ya.